This is the Master Overhaul for Batman Arkham Knight, a difficulty mod that reworks the core gameplay and overall experience. Enemies are stronger and more relentless, and new suits are unlocked through Riddler Chests scattered across the game world. Batmobile combat is optionally more difficult, only for those who like the challenge. I'm once again trying to bring back the Batmobile mobility. A few months ago, I managed to add it to the upgrade menu, but I couldn't get it to work. Now that the Arkham City Nightmare update's wrapped up, I'm finally free to go all in on Arkham Knight. Combat has been overhauled even further. In the vanilla game, enemies take about 0.91 seconds to land a hit, giving you nearly a full second to react. In the other difficulty mods, I dropped that window to around 0.7 seconds on the hardest difficulty, and even had to speed up Batman's animations just to keep it fair. But Arkham Knight already has much cleaner animations, so I didn't need to touch them. This time, the counter window is just 0.56 seconds. This means enemies strike you faster than ever, giving you barely half a second to react. Even basic enemies destroy Batman with ease, which means I need a reliable way to handle them. My PS5 controller is sitting right there, but it's not good enough, and I threw out my Xbox controller because of stick drift. Let's use the GameSir Supernova. GameSir approached me about this controller, and I did some research beforehand. I've now spent a month with this controller, and it suits the Arkham games perfectly. It has Hall effect analog sticks, which is rare to see. They feel extremely smooth and accurate to use. It has a great form factor with premium feeling buttons. The buttons can be freely remapped with the GameSir app, and you can even set a button to rapid fire up to 30 times per second. I've mapped the back buttons to open vents and skip dialogue instantly, and you can even do super fast beatdowns. The magnetic faceplate can be removed, allowing you to move the buttons around, or you can switch the faceplate to one of the different color options. The lighting profile is also freely adjustable. You can change the input type on Steam between PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. It supports motion controls, which you can set to the camera function for improved aiming in any game. It's become my main controller, not just for testing this mod, but for playing other games too. You can buy the GameSir Supernova using the link in the description. It comes with a charging dock and supports both wired and wireless setups. Enemy spawns are being reworked across the campaign. You can see how much more brutal this looks in the Crime Alley challenge map, where I've increased Lieutenant and Ninja spawns. I'm even adding additional minigunners to Predator sections, forcing you to think of new strategies to progress. Suit materials are now improved across the board. Ice Mage guided me through the process and explained how the textures and materials work in depth as I reworked the silver suit. I was surprised to learn how much I was getting wrong, and the suits look much better now thanks to him. Mr. Binks also helped, providing other details as I was working on the Master Suit and sharing multiple ramp textures to make the gold on the Master Suit look more like gold. Mr. Binks is the same modder who helped get the suit unlock system working. Huge thanks to Ice Mage and Mr. Binks, the suits look much cleaner with a more realistic shine. Keiba shared an interesting discovery for the Batmobile. It turns out you can adjust the combat stats for each Batmobile skin. For example, we can have reduced recoil on one skin, faster firing rate on another skin, even a skin with an increased EMP range. For comparison's sake, this is what a lower EMP range looks like on one skin, and a higher EMP range on another. It's easy to have a Batmobile that outright does more damage against drones, but we don't want to overdo it. There'll be no Batmobile that deals increased damage. At most, maybe one that shoots an additional missile with the missile barrage ability. We just want to keep it simple while adding some additional depth to Batmobile combat, making it more fun to rotate between different Batmobiles without making any of them irrelevant. You'll be able to see the stat changes for each Batmobile in the showcase menu. We'll even have one Batmobile that increases the EMP duration against enemy drones. I'm also trying to work on additional Batmobile skins that complement the silver and the gold suit, assuming I can get my own skins working. I'm going to list some of the supported mods that will be part of the overhaul. These are all amazing mods, and you can also download and use them right now using the links in the description. Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League's Arkham Evolved Batman by Ice Mage. A mod with accurate rigging and shading, featuring multiple variations based on the 2024 game. This is how Batman looks after the events of Arkham Knight. The Batman 2022 Batmobile by Keiba, based on the movie and featuring support for battle mode, as well as updated sound effects and visual effects. The Lego Batman suits, also by Keiba, realized with accurate material work, with suits based on the original game and the movie. You can download all of these mods in the description. The current list of supported mods isn't yet complete. I'm hoping to support even more mods with the overhaul as we near completion. I still need to work out a way to tie Batmobile unlocks to the Riddler Chest system or through side missions, but Batmobile skins will all include their own stat changes. The skill tree is revamped to be cleaner and more intuitive. Some upgrades have been removed, sometimes due to being overpowered, like the multi-ground takedown, but some powerful upgrades are kept, being promoted to legendary tier, which means they cost 25 rain tech points, making them a lot more expensive than other upgrades. The idea here is to force players to commit to just 2, maybe 3 of these powerful upgrades. The current list of legendary upgrades are as follows: 5 fear takedowns. I've removed 4 fear takedowns. If you want higher than the default 3 fear takedowns, then 5 fear takedowns is an available unlock. Fear takedowns are also harder to use than before, with a smaller window to chain the takedowns. Smoke pellet radius. This upgrade pushes the radius higher than vanilla, essentially acting as a blackout ability and providing players more freedom in predator sections. Super Combo Backclaw. My personal favourite, this is the move responsible for the introduction of legendary tier upgrades. It's known for its usefulness in instantly taking out most lieutenants, and I've increased the field of view during the combo, making it feel more comfortable and easier to use in combat. Triple Batarangs is also a legendary upgrade, and I assume it will be the least popular one. I couldn't push myself to remove this upgrade or the twin Batarangs from the game. At the same time, it allows you to drop multiple enemies at once, which can prove really useful in predator sections. Extra Disruptor Ammo. The Disruptor is the most powerful gadget in the game, and I know many players will want additional ammo. It comes with 3 shots by default, but the upgrade brings it up to 4. I'd like to add one more legendary upgrade to the list, but haven't decided which one yet. Let me know in the comments, which upgrade would you want to see added, and which 2 would you choose to unlock? For me personally, I think I'll be using the Super Combo Backclaw and increased smoke pellet size. The current legendary upgrade count is 5, which amounts to 125 points being required to unlock all of them. With the addition of a 6th upgrade, the final amount will be 150 points. Let's assume a player manages to accumulate a 60 point pool to use on legendary upgrades. They are looking at unlocking only 2 legendary upgrades. To expand on the smoke pellet radius upgrade is significantly bigger than vanilla. Visually it doesn't look different, which I'm working on, but functionally it's a lot more potent, as you can see with other enemies in the area reacting to the smoke. I'm still editing the visual effects to hopefully match what is effectively a blackout ability. I've also increased the speed and power of shockwaves, but the radius is reduced, requiring players to be more precise with shockwave attacks. I almost made it a legendary upgrade with a massive radius, but players would probably spam the shockwave attack over and over. Let me know if this is still something that sounds interesting. You could drop maybe 30 enemies in one super shockwave. I know some of you want to experience the overhaul without the extreme difficulty changes. The regular difficulty in this mod is now closer to the vanilla game's hard difficulty. I can't make it easier than that for good reason. Regular replaces easy and chaos replaces hard. Then there's insane difficulty, which replaces normal difficulty. But when it comes to combat, normal and Arkham Knight isn't really a separate difficulty. It's a random mix between easy and hard values. If I make regular too easy, it breaks the logic of insane difficulty, which sits in the middle and starts feeling inconsistent. Certain enemy attacks will use the hard difficulty values, while others will use the easy difficulty values. I have to keep the difficulty ladder smooth and meaningful. Okay, let's talk about the Batswarm ability. This move is not a part of Arkham Knight. This is a move used in Arkham City and Origins. I found a way to make the Batswarm ability unlockable in the upgrade menu many months ago, but I couldn't find a way to get Batman to use it. I failed to ever get the ability working properly, exhausting many different ideas. Then many months passed and I decided to check the files again. What the? This will be a part of the Master Overhaul, and it will also be available as a standalone mod for players who only want the Batswarm ability. When I did manage to get it working, I somehow kept calm and kept it to myself. This move was always in the game files. The developers just disabled it at some point, which was a shame because I really liked the Batswarm, and it was the one move I wanted in Knight. You're probably wondering, what buttons do you have to press to use it now? Arkham Knight by default replaced the controller buttons for the Batswarm with environmental takedowns. So now I've permanently removed environmental takedowns and weapon pickups in favour of the Batswarm, which is the way it should be. No, I'm just kidding. It actually replaces the multi-ground takedown move, which feels sensible. The multi-ground takedown is overpowered, and I've seen many players echo a dislike for that ability, since it just lets you cheese through combat encounters. The ability can be used by multiple characters, including Batgirl and Robin. I'm not sure it really fits with Robin, but it makes perfect sense for Batgirl. An interesting detail about the Bat Swarm at night is that it doesn't keep lieutenants in a stun state, so you can't keep spamming Bat Swarms and beatdowns against lieutenants. The Bat Swarm is capable of knocking out lieutenants and other enemies when they've accumulated enough damage, just like in the other games. Before I can release a standalone Bat Swarm mod, I need to implement it properly as an optional upgrade in the vanilla game, and I need to sort out a video preview that appears in the upgrade menu as the developers deleted the preview video. I also want to spawn more flying bats during the ability. It feels like the developers reduced the bat count to make it seem more grounded and realistic, but the ability still feels more impactful in Arkham City and Origins. Hopefully this can be adjusted. I want to make the Bat Swarm ability feel like an official update for the game instead of being rushed, and it will also be a big part of the Master Overhaul. So what's left on the Overhaul's to-do list? Outside of working on a couple more suits, including the Diamond Suit, we're very nearly at the campaign testing phase. The foundation's mostly been set. Now the campaign needs to be thoroughly tested and adjusted while playing through, including placing Riddler chests in different locations, as well as some small changes to the way the story of the game is presented, obviously without the use of AI. I actually have some ideas to very slightly change the experience of the campaign, making it more interesting on a revisit. I hope everyone's excited about this overhaul. I don't have a clear release date yet for everything. If I could dedicate all my time on Arkham Knight, this overhaul could be done in 2 months' time, but I do have to juggle a lot of work in my personal life at the same time. Huge thanks to all the modders helping with and contributing to the project, and to everyone watching the channel. Your support means a lot and helps keep projects like this moving. I will keep everyone updated as we near the release of the final mod, as well as when the Bat Swarm mod drops. Thank you.